Hey y'all, it's Male Singi on Yenyo Ohene Aniwa, the Christ. And I am back with another episode of Hoodoo is Political. But this time I'm going to be talking about me, Male Singi on Yenyo Ohene Aniwa, the Christ. So I am going to be talking about why did I switch from my Islamic hoodoo practice to a satanic hoodoo practice. Well, first off, I'll start with the beginning, before I was born. Satanism, for me, is ancestral. I talked with two ancestors. One, my dead dad who died before I was born, and another ancestor who was also a satanic conjurer. That was 111. Yes, this ancestor was also a satanic conjurer. And I got a lot of information. There had been, talks of, would you consider worshiping Shaitan? Is that something you would want to even think about doing? And I said, no, I would never do something like that because I love Allah. Ha! Ha 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 ha! It was so easy, it was crazy. Anyway, but yes. Satanic conjure is ancestral. And I have an ancestor who did the same thing that I'm doing. We both did hoodoo in a satanic way. And ever since I was a child, I was attracted to Shaitan. I was attracted to Satanism, 222. But it was like a edgelord joke. Right? I would be like, oh, hail Satan, ha 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 ha. That's so funny, right? Because I grew up in the Southern Baptist Church in these Christian ways, and so it's blasphemy. I'd be blaspheming as a joke. And when I was a kid, when I was a baby, I would always cry, like wailing, whenever we watched this movie called Angels in the Outfield. And this, my mom made sure to be like, this was different from your other cries, because usually it's very quiet and, to yourself. But this one, I was screaming. I didn't want to watch that shit. And even to this day, the glowing silhouette type shit that represents angels, right? In a palatable way that humans can accept. That shit's is still off-putting. It's still, it's a silhouette. It's supposed to be shadowy. I've never actually said that out loud before, but a silhouette is supposed to be a shadow. It ain't supposed to be a bunch of light. Maybe that's why. Maybe it's because I'm attracted to the shadow. I don't know. Probably. And when I became a hoodoo on January 1st, 2022, I was really trying to squeeze myself into this little box of being holy. Oh, okay. Hoodoos love God. Hoodoos are thought to be aligned with Christianity. There are many ways to practice hoodoo, right? But it was just always in this one specific way. I know y'all heard that. It was always in this one specific way, and I ain't supposed to be doing that. 444. What the fuck? These synchronicities. Okay. I ain't supposed to be doing that. So, on October 1st, 2023, I was initiated as a Malay under High John. High John is a demon. High John is a demon. Let me say that one more time. High John is a demon. He's a demon. And even as I was trying to be holy, even as I was trying to be like, you know, a good little hoodoo who prays 5 times a day, and I do all my rituals, I do as the Malays would have done, right? Because they were Muslims. I was still excited about Shaitan. I was still excited about Satanism. I am a religious leader. I'm the modern day Malay, right? So I need to study religion. I have been trying. I fall asleep when I was reading the Tanakh, which I still ain't finished. When I was reading that edited piece of shit, the Christian Bible. Come on now. And I am trying my hardest to trudge through reading the entire Holy Quran. However, I devoured the Satanic Bible. I tore through that thing. You couldn't keep me away from reading the Satanic Bible. I even keep a copy of it in my purse at all times. You never know when you're going to need to quote some satanic scripture from the Infernal Diatribe, or, you know, have to spit out a quick couple of sentences from an Enochian key. You never know. But Shaitan requested that I get a pentagram on my left hand. Right? Hold on, y'all can see that. Yeah. A pentagram on my left hand. I got it the next week. I made sure to get that tattoo the next week. And Allah, when I was, holy, told me I was created in the archetype of my good sis, Lilith, the demonic feminine, right? And in all of her glorious rebellion and insubordination against Allah, she had the audacity to question the natural order and Allah's role within that natural order, through seeking pleasure, through just basking in her femininity, her charisma, basking in the earthly delights that were provided to her in her own garden. It's relevant. And because of her daring to question God, she was banished from her own garden, the Garden of Eden. She was there before Adam was there. Lilith, the original starseed, was banished from her own garden to Al-Nar, the fire, where she created paradise. That's who I'm created like. In this fucking hellscape world, full of corruption, full of horrific atrocities being committed every single day, in the name of Allah, by the way, in the name of God. They ain't doing that for Shaitan. But anyway, Lilith created paradise. That's what we're supposed to be doing. That energy, 1010, the energy of dissension, that energy of questioning authority, that energy of rebelling against fascism and tyranny will save us. We will create paradise. That's who I'm created like. And I'll close by saying this. All right. My favorite thing about being a satanic hoodoo is that I don't have to give a fuck about being a good person. Shaitan, in fact, said indulge in sin. But when you indulge, you have to know your limits. Because I don't have to care, 11:11, about being a good person, I get to explore the person that I truly am. I like to have fun. I like to learn. I like to party hard. I like to read. I like to dance, exercise. I like to fuck. I like to flip off pigs. I like to rant. I like to expose truth. I love liberation. I love liberation. And because I love liberation and I don't have to give a fuck about being a good person, the methods that we use to get free, the methods that I can use to get free, because not everybody's a Satanist, I have a wider range of techniques I can use, methodologies that can be enacted, as long as it gets us to the goal of freedom from tyranny, freedom from oppression. As long as we get to be free, 1, 2, 3, 4, as long as we get to be free. That's the most important thing. And I know this is just coming to me. 12:48. This question is literally just coming to me. Some people will quote, the master's tools cannot dismantle the master's house. I ain't no slave. Who's y'all's master? They don't run me. That's all I can say. 1313. They don't run me. That's another thing I learned about being a Satanist. They don't run me. Yes, we may be living in an oligarchical dystopian landscape or whatever, depending on where you are. We may be in this age of global neo-fascism, but they don't run me. Come on now, you're great for that. This is another point about indulgence. When you indulge, you know your limits. You know how far is too far and when you should pull it back. When you control you, they cannot control you. Because you know who you are. That's 1414. The fascists cannot control you when you control you. Shaitan is all about liberation, all about freedom, all about being who you truly are and finding the order in the chaos. I know I said I was going to end it with that, but something else just came up. So, when you control you, the fascists, the tyrants, the white supremacists, the elite class, they cannot control you. And that's 15 on the dot. Good day to the good folks. Bad day to the bad folks. I'm out.